following podcast is set for at least 1 hour. Introducing your hosts, from Fort Worth, Texas, at a total combined weight of 430 pounds, Kevin and Chris Newell. The Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome wrestling fans. This is the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast. Just wanted to put that out there one more time that sorry, computer kind of disappeared there for a second. I'm like, oh crap, we lost signal. No, we're still here. All right, so Backlash, WWE Backlash, done and done early. By the way, in the books,
they started early. Like I think it was
they started at 6
6
o'clock and ended around, I want to say what, close to 9 o'clock ish, maybe 8:30. We got if you're wondering what Chris is looking at, we've got the press conference going on right now, and they're talking about Clash at the Castle in Paris.
Is that what they're talking about? It's muted, so
it's muted, so we can't hear what they're saying.
We just know Triple H is talking about something.
Yeah.
And we didn't turn subtitles on either.
No. But again, Backlash in the books. We're going to go ahead and head into it. I do have some news stories that has come up, and definitely want to go over that. We just got done watching. We were on the live stream with Mr. Know Your Wrestling. You could see him on. I believe you could see him on
TikTok.
You could see him on Twitch and TikTok, but I think you could still see him on YouTube. Not 100% sure, but definitely on Twitch or on TikTok. So
we watched him on TikTok.
He comes on every Monday night for to give you his reaction, live reaction to Monday Night Raw and live reaction to Friday Night SmackDown. Please tune in there.
Tune in next episode on Know Your Wrestling.
Well, hang on. Before we get it, before we get into it, they had this is breaking news. They have confirmed John Cena's final match will be in Boston in the month of December. So his final match will be in his hometown. He came from Boston. So that's confirmed there. So we know the time and the day when he will leave WWE for good. All right. Well, to get on with really what this show is about, and of course, and I know on YouTube it says differently. It says SmackDown. I apologize. We were in a hurry to try to get on live, but it is for Backlash. I can reassure you. See, and there. See, right there. It says Backlash.
Up there.
See, it's. I mean, it's obvious. You can see it right there. Oh, dear God. I am so sorry, son. Are you... There we go. There we go. I had to. I'm sorry. I had to. Just once. Just once. You're seeing the delay. We're seeing the delay on YouTube because we're watching YouTube. It's an intricate system that we have, and we'll get a photo of it so you guys can see the behind the scenes and everything. But without further ado, Chris here.
I think I understood that reference.
Yeah, Kenny Omega. Chris here to go over to recap Backlash.
All right, so for Friday Night SmackDown, you had wait a minute, wrong notes.
I think I hit him too hard.
For WWE Backlash, that was the PLE thing. You had that fatal. They started off with the fatal four-way: Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre for the U.S. title.
For a multi-man match, I enjoyed it.
He hates.
I usually hate multi. Well, because my hate for them started happening with AEW. because they would do that so much.
They would just cram as many guys as they could into one ring on the regular.
Exactly.
Or so it seemed.
So it seemed.
Because a lot of the matches, I remember there being at least like 3 or 4 different battle royals last year.
Yeah, not counting the Royal Rumble.
No, just in AEW.
Oh, Justin. Oh, you're talking about AEW. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. But
sorry, taking the labels off the water bottles because sadly we're not sponsored. But if you would like to sponsor us and you're a legit company, please email us at
crosspromopod@gmail.com.
Good job. Sorry, you may continue. That was it for our commercial.
Shameless plug or whatever.
Shameless plug, yeah. No, shameless plug would be check out our merch. If you're go to our
Dynamite
YouTube,
diamond ring plug right here, you know.
yeah, check out our merch and go to our if you're watching us on YouTube, click on the link. The link will send you to an online store that has our merch: shirts, mouse pads, cups, mugs, hats, sweatshirts. We'll go from there.
We also have.
Oh, wait a minute! John Cena just walked in on Triple H's pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, but press conference. Hang on.
21.
Sorry. Okay, I guess he just jumped. John Cena just came in and was like
Hijack the interview.
whispering in Triple H's ear. He wanted to be part of the press conference. I do apologize about the silence.
I don't think it's picking up on the TV here. So is he trying to turn face again?
He's over here being nice at the press conference. Sorry, if you guys are listening, I hope you guys can hear somewhat of the TV.
I mean, it looks. I mean, we did see how the fans seemed to affect him.
Yeah, but more on that when we get to
the way he was staring and kind of froze after the end of that match. After they cut back to it.
Yeah, hang on. I know. And R-Truth just came out. R-Truth is coming out and just kissing John Cena's butt. And that just... Wow. Okay, so... All right, well, that just took a turn.
He just, what was that, attitude adjustment?
Yeah.
To R-Truth on the interview table.
So John Cena was actually going to be a legitimate nice guy with the press during the press conference. This is breaking. This is happening. R-Truth comes out, starts kissing his butt and saying, hey, I believed you all along. I was a fan of yours the whole time. I never lost faith. And then he mentioned about John Cena saying how the fans say that you have sucked and that you can't wrestle. And then John Cena just stands up and says, and calls him by his real name, not R-Truth, says, Ron, you say one more thing,
Ron,
and there will be repercussions.
Hey,
and so R-Truth, R-Truth just going off and just about says something else, and John Cena just attitude adjusted him through the press conference table. So that just happened live, and Well,
Literally as we spoke.
as we were just going over the first match, and legitimately, John Cena actually,
It looks like
in a way, he was apologizing for the last press conference at WrestleMania, how Yinzer is here. He said, "Yeet."
welcome.
Uh,
Unfortunately, we still don't have the soundboard working like how we want it.
yeah, I'm sorry.
So.
But it seemed like he was being legitimately apologetic with the press at the press conference, but yeah, so that was just interesting with John Cena. So I'm sorry, Chris. Let's get back to the recap. We were talking about the Fatal 4-Way match that surprisingly was good.
Yeah.
He does. He does look weaker. Jens are saying Cena looks old. He looks weaker without all that muscle. He does.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
For most of my other thoughts on that, I'm gonna try and save them for the Orton Cena match.
Yeah.
So during that match, we saw interference from Solo and a new member of the Bloodline. It seems.
Yes.
You said like what, Jeff Cobb? Or
Jeff
something
Cobb. He wrestled with Ring of Honor and did a lot in the independents, and now is signed on with WWE.
Just wanted to make sure that was actually his name and that I didn't miss that or something.
This makes like 5. So sorry, we're looking at on our Twitch chat. The Divine Yinzer saying,
Back in the middle.
"What? Okay."
Because like last.
I'm
year
trying
they
to
were
say
swapped,
okay.
so.
The Divine Yinzer, he's saying he looks horrible unless he can get that big. Can't get that big anymore. I don't know.
I don't really know either.
Go ahead, Chris.
But because of that interference, we ended up seeing maybe not completely because of that interference. I think he could have done it on his own, but Fatu retained by pinning LA Knight.
But did you see the look on Jacob's face whenever
He did not like that.
he didn't seem
interference.
to look like
And
he
again, I don't think he
wanted
needed
that.
the help.
No,
I think he could have done it without the interference by Cobb and Solo.
he was doing good because he was on a roll at one
He
point.
could have done it solo. I mean,
Wow. No, don't do that. No, there is one spot that I really enjoy where it showed his dominance. He had he was standing on the about to get onto the top rope. Drew McIntyre hanging upside down in the Tree of
I
Woe.
remember that.
LA Knights was trying to superplex Jacob, sorry, and LA Knight gets knocked off the top, and then as soon as Jacob tries to get into position to jump, Drew McIntyre sits up, German suplexes him, grabs him, throws him off, and Jacob does a swanton onto LA Knight, then immediately gets up, does the turnbuckle thing that he does, that him and Umaga and Solo like to do, does that to Drew McIntyre, then hits the ropes and dives out of the ring to take out Damian Priest. It was like, okay, this is a different kind of guy here, and this is the reason why they put the belt on him.
Yeah. Let's see. But he retained in that match. And again, since it's pay-per-view, there's no promos or anything. It's just matches, it seems.
Nope, we go straight to the next one.
And that next one being Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria.
Son, you can look up at the
Sorry.
camera. It's okay.
Well, things that I'm reading as I'm going.
I know, but you can...
One of the cats just escaped.
It couldn't hurt to look at the camera, though, son, and give some, love for all the people.
But that match ended when Lyra pinned Becky Lynch. But the thing is, after that, no hesitation, you had Lynch just flat out attack her. Again, no hesitation, directly into the attack.
Yeah, she went nuts.
And you thought Bailey was going to come out, but only...
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was expecting that too. But again, no help other than a bunch of random officials and maybe Adam Pearce?
No. It was very few officials. It was
Still just random guys.
yeah.
Then you had Penta and Dominic for the title, of course. And again another case of the crowd cheering Dom during that match.
Yeah, they were doing what is known as the European football chant. They go, "Dirty, dirty Dom, dirty, dirty Dom." They were doing that, and I'm like, okay, this is weird.
Dude, it was. But you had Carlito and Finn come out, and it seems.
Oh, and JD McDonough too.
And McDonough, yeah.
Yeah, Carlito distracting the ref while McDonough and Finn attacked Penta.
The thing is, Finn was kind of slow on his end to do anything.
Yeah,
So it's almost like he got caught by the ref on purpose there.
that I was just about to say that.
And
Because I mean, how can you get yourself ejected from ringside? How do you get you and your guys ejected from ringside?
you get caught. Your group caught interfering.
Exactly.
And that's what he did.
I'm thinking this is all a plan by Finn,
And they were both ejected. So
and someone pointed out that on Monday Night Raw, when you see I don't know who it is that's walking in backstage, you look behind them. I think it was Jey Uso. You look behind them.
that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
The
Divine Yins are saying Cena versus R-Truth is gonna happen eventually.
Now the question
Yes.
is that like a pay-per-view match, or you think it's going to happen halfway between now and like?
It's going to be a pay-per-view match because
like a SmackDown.
No, because from here on out, John Cena's not doing television. He's not wrestling on television. He's only going to be on television to do promos. He'll only wrestle at pay-per-views. He's going to be doing the Roman Reigns thing, He'll show up, do promos, but not wrestle kind of thing.
I just remembered we were supposed to be keeping track of his appearances.
I lost count already because I don't care. But back to this match. Divine Yins are saying, what if R-Truth wins the top? No.
And then he turns.
It's
triple.
an interesting idea, but no, I don't think
the-
that's going to happen anytime
If
soon.
he wins, he can turn the triple undisputed title, WWE title, into the new 24/7.
I'm going to
championship.
seriously injure you and smack you across the head again.
If you do that, I'm gonna end up like Archer.
You're going to start seeing little Jimmy running around.
Yeah, the funny thing is, since we're on the subject of Little Jimmy, I think Juggalo said something in the Discord, like where it was like, "Baby John Cena."
Baby John Cena. Okay, yeah, I saw that. Truth deserves it. He does, but I don't think it's going to be from Cena.
Yeah,
I think he's more there now just for comic relief.
and he's funny.
So I'm already predicting out there. Oh, what the thing on Monday Night Raw? You saw Finn talking to Roxanne Perez in the background. You see it for a brief glimpse, but it's there. You see Finn talking to Roxanne Perez.
You think we're gonna see anything happen there?
I don't know. I really don't.
You think? Okay, hear me out. Hear me
Okay.
out. Roxanne Perez and Finn against Liv and Dom.
I could see that happening.
SummerSlam. Maybe not SummerSlam exactly.
No, it's not going to happen SummerSlam. What is going on right now with the whole thing with the Judgment Day? Right now, they're crumbling. They're at odds. So, what's happening next is... did you say the winner of the title match?
It's all right. I'll just quickly. Dom won, and that was probably because El Grande Americano attacked Penta.
Okay. Yeah, he came out of nowhere and...
Notice how I said it was. I did not say Chad Gable, and the commentator guy also did not say Chad Gable.
Chad Gable. Okay? He's Chad Gable. See?
It's
It's almost.
I didn't think about that.
He shrank and stayed in seclusion, so he lost pigment in his skin.
See, again, I said it wasn't Chad Gable. He's saying it's Omos. I mean,
He says it right there. Omos.
somebody just left in the chat.
Exactly. They left him in too long. They put him on the delicate cycle and not the fluff.
He shrank in the water.
Put him in cold water instead of warm water.
Oh no.
El Grande, his little Jimmy. The internet would never lie, Chris. It's this is Quirky Hawaiian. The people we have on our Twitch chat are close friends of ours. Quirky Hawaiian and the Divine Yinzer. Divine Yinzer saying El Grande is little Jimmy.
Wait, so is he Little Jimmy or Omos? Or is he both?
He's little Omos Gable.
That's weird.
Yes.
I can't quite make sense of that.
You're not supposed to. And
that Chris, not
Aaron,
this Chris.
Aaron
Welcome.
Black 1210, who shares the same birthday as you and the same name. That Chris, not this Chris, is how
I
we
have
go.
a clone.
Have you ever seen El Grande, Little Jimmy, and Omos at the same? No. Hence, Little Omos Gable. Think about it.
They're all the same guy.
Exactly. You caught on. Look at you.
That's mind blowing.
I think he's got it. All right.
They're all literally the same guy.
So, with the whole thing with Finn, here's my thought. He's slowly but surely plotting on kicking out Liv and Dom out of the Judgment Day because Dom, not John, not John, Dom,
Little Jimmy,
robbed him of his Intercontinental Championship. He had it won, but Dom came in and swooped it out from under him. So Finn has now got a personal chip on his shoulder that it's towards Dom. So what's going to happen at SummerSlam?
Be jealous of the title.
What's going to happen at SummerSlam? You're going to have Finn take on Dom for the title. And this is going to be around the time Liv comes back and is like not knowing what the heck has happened. How could Judgment Day fall apart and everything while she is gone? And, because, her, here's me, here's the world, and this is how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Next up, we had Penta and Dominic for the.
You already said that.
Yeah. The graphic was still up, so I thought I'd mess around a little bit. Just a little bit. But the next match actually was Pat and Gunther. And at some point during that match, you had Cole trying to convince Gunther to end the match just to end it, get it over with.
Yeah.
And at some point that turned into a distraction, sort of, that Pat took advantage of. And I guess it worked. Still not enough to get pinfall, but...
No, and at one point, Michael Cole held down one of Gunther's
feet.
Held down foot just so he wouldn't kick out.
I mean, it didn't do anything, but... Because I think... I want to say... No, yeah. You had Pat pass out during that, and that's how it ended. But he got in the chokehold once, kind of stayed awake.
I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
Quirky,
yeah, it was.
Quirky Hawaiian saying, I love that spot. Let's ignore the fact that it's a rope break at this point.
It was.
It was. It really was.
That I didn't think about that.
So technically,
technically he helped Gunther, if the ref saw it.
Yeah. If the ref would have caught it, it would have been rope break, because it doesn't matter if your foot is under the rope, on top of the rope, but if it's under the rope, it's also considered a rope break because you're somewhat out of the ring. so it doesn't count. Technicality.
Technically speaking.
Technically speaking, of course. Anyway, continuing on.
But yeah, then after that, you saw a show of respect from Gunther,
To Pat McAfee, yeah.
which I was not expecting.
Well, Pat McAfee put up a pretty good match, for a guy who...
He did, surprisingly.
Yeah, he did. He held his
Even
own.
though, like, the first actual contact between them was Gunther flinging him with a chop or something.
Yeah.
Like, across the ring type thing.
So, we'll see what Pat McAfee has to say on his show about that match.
Or, I guess, either on a show or next appearance he has on, what, Raw?
Raw.
Then you had the main event, which was Randy Orton and John Cena for the triple undisputed WWE title.
You're not going to let that go, are you?
It was triple undisputed, right?
Corky Hawaiian has a question here. He says, speaking of Gunther, question for the cross promo cast real quick. Fire away. Well, while he's typing that question.
I'm going to stare directly into the camera while...
He knows how to be creepy. If you had to take one, the chop from Gunther or Kobashi, oh my God. Oh man. It would be a chop regardless, and it would hurt. But would it be from Kobashi or Gunther?
I don't think I've seen Kobashi.
He had really, really lethal chops. I mean, you've seen welts left by Gunther. The man would leave he would damn near cave your chest in.
I'm going to go with Gunther then. I don't want my chest caved in.
I would like to breathe, so I'll say Gunther as well. But good question. Thank you for the question. Appreciate it.
No thanks. I choose life.
I choose life. I choose to live. All right. Fair response. Yes.
Which one would you choose?
Oh, he turns the question back at you, sir.
I think he's also going to choose life.
I choose life.
Yeah.
Or death by Snoo Snoo. One of the two. Well, I think if you do have death by Snoo Snoo, then Snoo Snoo, you had a long life. Oh yeah, we're covering the main event. Sorry. I would actually choose Kobashi just out of respect for the legend. True.
And regret it permanently after.
Yeah. How you doing? I'm fine. You don't sound fine. I can at least breathe. You been smoking? No, what makes you say that?
He crushed his lungs.
Yeah. It's basically what Kobashi would do.
Just crunched both of them.
Because, I mean, any type of chop whatsoever, the point of a chop is to knock the wind out of you.
I had that happen to me once.
I've had the wind knocked out of me before, too. I used to play football.
We were screwing around, like jumping off of things, and I landed not the best way, and that was fun.
I think I remember that.
Not fun.
Anyway.
Not actually fun.
So the main event. Let's try to finish up here with a recap of Backlash. Go ahead.
Taking us like 30 minutes to get through the recap, but
So?
it's good. It's good.
So
It did feel.
we're
like
having
30
good
minutes.
conversations with the people in our chat. Pretty
would-
much the only active chat we have, and that's
I would be honest. I've been
Twitch.
enjoying it either way.
yeah, it's a great time had by all.
But that match really did, at least before the first ref got knocked out, it was or the ref got knocked out. The first ref got knocked out the first time because you had this one ref get knocked out twice, I think. And
Yeah,
then
he got knocked out twice.
And then another one that only got knocked out once. But then after that, you had all these official guys come out,
including Nick Aldis.
Yeah, he came out too, and then eventually, he got RKO'd and.
They came out to check on the refs, and it took what, 6 or 7 guys to check on 2 refs. Okay,
Even though I'm being honest, they probably could have checked on the ref that after he hit his head on the stairs earlier. Because the first time all that happened was Orton ran into him. The second time he hit the stairs, and they probably should have had a guy check on him then.
Yeah. It's like, don't worry about the guy outside the ring. Worry about the guy inside the ring that didn't hit his head on the stairs.
Yeah.
So then the part I liked was Randy Orton. And at that, I was actually thinking, okay, Nick Aldis is going to call the match off and say, no, it's a draw.
No contest.
No contest. And I'm
DQ,
like, this is how they're going to really end the night and end this match, really, to where then I thought, and I went in my head, because I didn't say it out loud, if they did end it in a DQ or a draw, they can continue and have a rematch or have the best of 3 kind of match, like a grudge match, a best of 3. The next pay-per-view, they'd have that match, and it would end in a DQ. And this last one the final one would be at SummerSlam.
2 of 3 falls.
And it would be and there would have to be some type of rule to ensure that there is a winner, no matter what. Either an Iron Man match or something. Dear God, I could be a promoter.
That'd probably be cool, yeah.
I'm just saying. I was the one that came up with the idea for the triple threat match. Not for the triple threat match at WrestleMania between Rhea Ripley and...
a different way of going about that matchup.
Yeah. Quirky Hawaiian saying, my opinion, Randy now was to get the Orton-Cena rivalry left in the rear view to maybe go Punk and then whoever he passes the torch to.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Which, by the way, I'm go ahead and say right now, during the whole press conference, CM Punk took to Instagram right after that match, and I guess it was an image of Cena holding up the belt and a video clip of them saying, and still WWE Undisputed Champion. In the subtitle, Punk put in there, for now.
You think he's going to be the one to dethrone Cena?
Foreshadowing. I don't know why I just did Macho Man. I may just talk like this for the rest of the day, yeah. Oh my God, you can do Hogan, I can do Macho Man.
That's wild, brother.
Oh yeah, Aaron Black, or better known in our circle here as that Chris, not this Chris, saying, I was so mad at Truth, I was cussing at the TV like he could really hear me. I was actually staring and going, what are you doing, Truth? It was more or less a questioning and less cussing, like, okay, so maybe from this match, they're going to have a spin to where Orton's going to be taking out our Truth like, it's your fault my eye got taken off the ball, and then our Truth's going to be over here defending Cena for slamming him through the table at that press conference, just saying, oh, he's just expressing how much he cares. He's going to come up with some kind of crappy excuse. And then Jimmy Uso, holy crap.
Huh.
What if it's Jimmy Uso that takes the belt from Cena? Because Jimmy Uso's over here was telling this just yesterday on SmackDown, last night, told our Truth, Cena sucks. So what if it's Jimmy Uso?
That would be a big case of foreshadowing.
That would be a big case, but I mean, just hear me out. You got
how many pay-per-views?
You got Jay as the world champion. You get Jimmy as the undisputed champion. Usos are back on top.
How many pay-per-views does he have left again?
I don't know.
Like Cena?
I don't know. There's
because if they do,
let's just count it in months. You've got June, July, August, September, October. You got 7 more months of Cena. The 7 months of Cena.
It's like the 12-day of Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, yeah, they could do that. The next one could be R-Truth, and then after that, Punk, and then Jimmy or Jay or something.
Jimmy be the one to take the belt off Cena.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be fitting because Jay is the one that eliminated Cena from the Royal Rumble.
That adds to the foreshadowing.
And that also would say that Cena can't beat anyone from the bloodline.
Yeah, it would.
He could beat everybody, but not anyone
Not
from
the
the
bloodline.
bloodline. And then, also right after the match, Cena got on the mic and said, I just need competition. I need competition, and I don't need you," referring to the audience. But as he was walking away, as he would say, "Drink it in. This is the last time you'll see the greatest champion," or whatever.
Then
John
the screen
Cena.
went black. The pay-per-view ended. They started the post show or whatever, or after show or whatever.
Well, they were showing there. The crowd was chanting, "Thank you, Cena."
and
Not F you, Cena. I thought at first they were like, okay, they're chanting F you, Cena. No, they're chanting thank you, Cena.
and it seemed to reach him a little bit or affect him or something.
It really hit at him. That was his kryptonite, was no matter how much he had dissed them, everyone is thanking him for his career and everything. And you saw him kind of like, almost like, what have I done kind of moment,
What have I done?
One of those, you've had Taco Bell and you've had like pretty much almost everything off the menu and had one of those like 2 or 3 Baja Blasts, and you're just sitting there on the toilet wishing death and then also going, what have I done? It was one of those kind of looks. Yeah. Pretty much.
That was kind of graphic.
I'm just saying. Everybody's had those moments where they've been warned about Taco Bell, but they still eat it, but then they regret it and then go, what have I done? That kind of thing. Overall pay-per-view, if I were to give it a number rating, I'd say an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. The ending of the Orton and Cena match.
11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. Okay, Dave Meltzer.
I was expecting.
You were expecting that because that's what he does.
Yeah. That I don't actually honestly rate things. I just do it as a joke.
Yeah. Well, I say I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, it wasn't, WrestleMania or anything like that, but the main event ended decently well. I mean, I thought it was going to end on a no contest, and it's going to be like, okay, this is going to be one of those rivalries that don't end. And then turns out it ended pretty well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm going to let you choose. And I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm going to let you choose match of the night.
Main event.
Okay.
Cena and Orton.
Okay. Because I was torn between Cena and Orton or Becky and Lyra Valkyrie, because that was a good match too.
That was.
If I were to put the matches in order from greatest to least as far as the matches I enjoyed, Cena and Orton would probably be right there or tied. Actually, I would say they would be tied with Lyra Valkyrie and Becky Lynch match. Second would come that Fatal 4-Way match. Third...
I don't know. You had like that... You still also had like all this history between Orton and Cena.
Yeah.
And then again, you had the reactions after that with the crowd and Cena kind of freezing up a little bit.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, so you're looking at it as a storytelling perspective.
That too, yeah.
Okay.
That and how they really did go hold for hold and that stuff too.
Yeah, they started that match really slow, and at first it's showing that Orton kind of carried the match a little bit when you're watching it.
But if you look at it from again the story perspective, it kind of ties back into the history part of it between these two, how well they know each other.
Yeah, because they've known each other since OVW, since developmental, because they came into the business at the same time. Quirky Hawaiian saying shows you how long these two had great careers though. Cena managed to make a reference to Orton failing a test 19 years ago, and people still remembered that moment. I know when he mentioned that, I'm like, wow, that's a deep cut right there. So, what would be your top 3? I would say top 3 matches since I went over mine.
Let's see. Probably put Pat and Gunther like at the last spot.
Okay.
Like at the very bottom.
Okay, at number 5.
Yeah. And then second to the Cena Orton one, I want to say the women's match.
Okay. So you definitively put the women's match right at number 2. So it's Orton and Cena, Lyra Valkyria, and Becky Lynch at number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you had the match with Penta and Dom.
Okay. That's at number 3.
And then the Fatal 4-Way.
Okay, you put the Fatal 4-Way at number 4. Okay.
Also kind of funny because 4-Way at number 4. But something popped up on his watch there.
Oh,
I have
nothing.
no idea what it said.
So, yeah, overall, great pay-per-view. That match will make the list of match of the week. So, real quick, Chris, let them know about the voting for match of the week.
All right, so we're going to be putting that up in the Discord server, where if you're already in it, you can go ahead and vote on that. Or if you want to join that, there's like 2 videos now, I think, on our TikTok, with links to that in the description or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I make you lose your train of thought? I'm sorry.
No, I think that was everything.
Okay.
But yeah, we put the votes for it there. The next one will decide match of the week for this week. Then after that, maybe a few weeks from now, match of the month.
Mm-hmm. And at the
end of the year or beginning of the year, one of the two.
Actually, at the end of the year, we'll have like a New Year's kind of special episode.
Yeah, and then I think, should we have match of the year be decided like about like as like a season? So around Mania time, around the time of our return, but next year, or at the end of the year, this coming.
No, we'll say calendar year.
All right.
Because we'll say calendar year. That way, it's much easier for people to keep track. You know.
So so end of this year on that special episode, we will announce match of the year as decided by the votes.
We'll also put other things in the vote like heel of the year, face of the year, match of the year.
Match of the year is the only one we're actually doing right now. The others will
kind of come along as we go. Moment of the year, you know, kind of like it'd definitely be like an end of the year kind of thing, you know. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
moment or highlight of the year.
Or a highlight of the year, or stuff like that. You know, got a lot of that going. Pay-per-view of the year. Maybe not. I don't know.
Probably not pay-per-view of the year.
We could do promotion of the year, but that would be too easy with some people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I already got an idea of what promotion will not be winning that.
Yeah. All right.
And I think Jim Cornette would agree.
He would.
He would.
Hang on. There it is.
He's looking for the news.
Yeah, because there's quite a bit that has happened as of late. So let me go ahead here, and we're going to switch to the news. So there were a few news stories that had come up today. Normally we wouldn't probably do news. We would just go over the pay-per-view, talk about it, predict what could be happening with the fallout of the pay-per-view. But since the pay-per-view started early and ended early, we got to cover time somehow, some way. Plus, we only been on for 47 minutes, so you know. Yeah. All right, so starting things off. Remember how I talked last night about how Matt Hardy was telling people that were released by WWE, don't burn any bridges because they may want you back. It's just right now at this moment they don't know what to do with you, so it's best to save money.
There was a response?
No.
A response to that response?
No, this one is adding on. Eric Bischoff went on his podcast, 83 Weeks podcast. Clever name, because that's how long Nitro was leading in the ratings over Monday Night Raw, was 83 weeks. He really likes to rub it in there, or just to remind you, hey, remember I ran the company that dominated WWE for about 83 weeks in the ratings. Anyway, he was talking about these people that were released, and you were going to say something? I'm sorry.
I guess he really is like both him and Hogan kind of cling to that past glory, sort of.
Yeah, they just really just hang on to that nostalgia.
Can't move past WCW. Brother.
Exactly. Quirky Hawaiian saying, congratulations, you're holding on to 83 Mondays that happened 30 years ago.
Hey. Okay, I thought I disconnected the mic or something.
You need to be careful with that microphone. You need to have something to like hold it in place, that wire, but that or don't just get over excited and smack things.
Over here, the Kermit flail from
Says yeah, the flailing Kermit. If you go back to our last night's YouTube video, we thought we had froze on YouTube, and I
decided to test that theory.
And he did his best impression of Kermit the Frog. It was quite hilarious. He could probably
I was even laughing about it on the stream after that.
Yeah, because I was showing him, hey, look, it didn't freeze on us after all. And then when
even during the stream, I was.
As soon as he looked, he saw himself flailing like Kermit the Frog, and it was funny. I cracked up laughing. But back to Eric Bischoff still hanging on to nostalgia and having his head so far up Hogan's butt. Saying, quote, they still...
Back in the olden days.
I mean, he just has to say anything and he echoes in there. He said, I know.
It echoes, brother.
Good thing I didn't have my head up there. Yeah. God, that threw me off. Sorry. So Bischoff saying, quote, they still got to put great talent out there. And if you're a great talent and you don't do stupid S and say stupid S, that buries you without decision makers. The opportunity for you to come back in any way, shape, or form in any number of opportunities is only enhanced by WWE and the strength of it. And then he continues. By the way, if you bury yourself and expose yourself for being an unprofessional, emotional, underdeveloped adult by reacting to stupid S, Dave Meltzer says, then yeah, it's going to be harder for you. But there were Drew McIntyre is a perfect example, and it's true. He got cut. What did he do? He worked his ass off and came back. Rusev, same thing. Aleister Black, same thing. Had Aleister Black or Rusev or anybody else you know went on an emotional journey to expose all the reasons why you were wronged by WWE, you think they'd be back? Probably not. Probably not. So just be a effing pro. Put your whining and your I have to edit because, and
I have to clean it up a bit.
Because, looking at you, Ryback, and yes, Quirky Hawaiian gets it. You should Quirky Hawaiian, go back to the videos. I tore into Velveteen Dream. I was that close from cutting a promo on Velveteen. I seriously was.
Man or...
No. When I do a promo, I have learned and I've discovered I have this inner Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm slow and methodical in my speaking, and somewhat philosophical if you pay attention to me really well. I can break a man's soul just by merely looking at him and speaking at him in this way.
I don't know, I'm getting ASMR vibes.
No. I still got it. I still got that. I'm serious. Look back at Jake the Snake's promos, okay? He would explain, you're his dad. He has no idea of any word you just said. Yeah. Pretty much. Hang on. Where was I? Okay.
Made him lose his spot.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit. So just be an effing pro. Put your whining and your B and your childish reactions because of stupid things that other ignorant people who have never been in the industry say because their opinions really don't effing matter. I mean, he's got a point. That's why we're over here expressing our opinions as fans, but not really going in deep like, hey, when you went into this cradle DDT or whatever, you should have done this, or this, you know. I mean, how are we supposed to know?
There is a difference between fair criticism and just nitpicking.
Yeah.
Or I guess actual criticism and then just needless nitpicking.
Constructive criticism as well. Okay, moving on to that. So we found out
that's what it was. Constructive criticism.
Okay. Well, if you watched SmackDown last night, you saw Mini Orton come in and attack Cena. They revealed his identity.
Who was it?
If you pay attention after Cena does the AA to him, you look at his forearms. He has the same exact matching tattoos as the leader of NXT's The Culling, Shawn Spears. He was the one dressed as Mini Orton.
Huh.
That was pretty much all that.
For a second, I thought you were going to say it was Ricky.
No, it was Shawn Spears.
Ricky versus Ricky Saints. Who would win?
Oh,
Trick question. It would be Ricky.
It'd be Ricky.
At least I think his name was Ricky.
There's
the guy that appeared like one time on SmackDown.
Yeah. So they go into explanation about the absence of the Wyatt Six. I mean, to sum it up, it was because Bo Dallas was injured. But I mean, if he didn't get injured, it would have been the Judgment Day taking on the Wyatt Six at WrestleMania 41. That would have been probably my match of the night.
It probably would have been.
Because we have talked about that. We were saying, what if the Wyatt Six took on Judgment Day?
We really have been talking about that.
But as of now, Bo Dallas is medically cleared. Right now, we don't know when the Wyatt Six are going to be coming in. But Eric Rowan has been spotted at WWE Developmental. Not developmental, but the Performance Center. He was spotted working out and in the ring, getting his rounds in. So it seems that we're going to get the Wyatt Six coming back really soon. I mean, and with the timing of Alexa Bliss coming back last night.
Maybe. If she doesn't end up getting stuck in a storyline with Flair for a bit.
I mean, probably just to keep her busy until the Wyatt Six come around. Or
maybe they, have...
Or. We forgot to do that. Or.
Yeah. They could mess with her during that rivalry, and eventually something happens that, sends her over the edge, so to speak.
No, in a way, she's still the same Alexa Bliss that left.
Something that, triggers that.
Or just intensifies it. Maybe. She was at one time tag team champions with Nikki Cross. So
we could see that again.
Definitely could see that happening again. Okay, so we have to talk about Mercedes Moné.
Moné watch.
Yep, because what had happened, she had recently just lost her New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship. The person that defeated her was AZM. AZM, I don't know. Never heard of AZM. Sorry. We're a bit slow on the New Japan stuff. But
schedule is weird.
But as of right now, Mercedes Moné went from 4 belts to 3. And I think this is slow. Yeah. She had 4 belts.
At the same time.
You didn't see on Dynamite or Collision Sasha Banks, loved her. Mercedes, I don't give a podcast. I like what you did there.
Podcast censorship.
Quirky Hawaiian saying Sasha Banks, loved her. Mercedes, I couldn't give a podcast censorship less.
That's good. We're going to have to remember that. That's how we're going to censor ourselves from now on.
Podcast censorship, yeah. It's what Craig Ferguson used to do on his late night show. Anytime he would say a curse word, they put like some type of flag over their mouth. With Craig, it would be the Scottish flag, and it would say, it'd be some kind of gibberish to edit. It was hilarious. But yeah, we don't care for Mercedes Moné. We liked Sasha Banks better. But yeah, she had 4 belts. She came out one night, I think it was Dynamite. She had one around her waist, one hanging off of that belt, and then holding 2 on her shoulder.
What was it?
I was either sometime last week, either a Collision or Dynamite. No, it was Dynamite because that's when Jamie Hayter came out to confront Mercedes, and Mercedes just took off running. Okay, you probably don't remember. That's okay. You've slept since then. It's all right. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I don't pay much attention to her. I give her the Logan Paul treatment.
Yeah. So she had her first interview since losing the title. She had expressed her frustrations on a show being hosted by Denise Salado, saying, quote, "I'm really sad. This is my first interview as Rebounce Monet." I don't know. She's given herself nicknames now. How about overrated Monet? Because we were backstage at New Japan.
That name does not make any sense.
I know.
Because I'm trying to while you're talking, I'm trying to figure out what that could possibly mean.
You're doing the Steiner math above you in your head there.
I guess that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. She continues by saying, we were backstage at New Japan Resurgence after my main event, and after I put this company on the map. She thought she put New Japan on the map.
She was talking. Okay, I was about to say.
Wasn't
it there before her though?
Yeah, the ones that really put it on the map was Okada and Omega.
I mean, you can't put something on the map if you joined like however many years after it's been a thing.
It was on the map before she even left WWE, so... Huh? 4 belts, that's Quirky Hawaiian saying, 4 belts, that's cute. How many did Kenny have? How many did Ultimo Dragon have, including Japan? They had multiple belts. That's right. And I think at one point, I can't remember if it's Ultimo or Kenny, one of them had like 5 or more.
Oof.
Not to be confused also with Austin Aries. He called himself the belt collector and would get championship belts from like multiple promotions, which was pretty awesome. So Monet's saying she feels she got screwed out of her title and that she's upset about it. She's just mad. That's summing it up. Then she continues saying, let me recoup after losing my beautiful New Japan Strong Women's Championship. I need a massage. I need a bath. I stink in more ways than one. I need to relax. Don't care. I'm a little pent up with aggression right
10.
now. 10. Okay. It was Ultimo Dragon. Yeah.
He's like, that's cute.
Look it up, kids, if you don't know.
That. How many did that guy have?
10.
Double. At least.
He hauls 2 suitcases with the belts in them. 2 extra suitcases. I'm pent up aggression right now, but I'm going to relax. I'm going to replan. I'm going to regroup.
You know, that's got to be a pain to try and sneak through airport security. I mean, get through airport security. The 10 different belts.
Quirky Hawaiian saying, I had to look it up since it's on the podcast. Try to be accurate when I'm not stating opinions. It's all right, man. It's good that you're fact checking yourself and everything. You want to make sure we got the facts right. All right, we have Handsome Grim on
Welcome back.
on our YouTube. Saw Backlash. Cena retained. Monster heel turn is on peak right now. I agree.
Oh no, it also kind of looks like he's trying to turn face again.
Well, the way he had that little bit of remorse, or like I said, the "what have I done" look on his face after you've had a series of Taco Bell and a lot of Baja. And
No, wait, in the movie, I think it was Mace in the window.
Yeah, he had an Anakin from Episode 3 moment. What have I done?
Yeah.
We need this Cena, not Fruity Pebble, and Super Cena 2010. Okay.
He's going to turn invisible.
That
again.
comes from Handsome Grim on YouTube. But the last thing I'm going to talk about Mercedes Moné here. And everyone that's listening or watching, y'all are going to get a kick out of this. She continued, and this is, you pay attention to everything I say in this quote right now. Oh yeah,
we
Jeff
saw
Cobb.
That too, yeah.
So Mercedes said this, quote, "I can feel the emotions right now. I feel like I'm about to cry, but I'm going to save that for Texas. But really, that's what I've been dreaming about, main eventing All In. This is our Super Bowl. This is our biggest pay-per-view of the year, and you're talking to the biggest star in all of professional wrestling, all of women's wrestling. I put women's wrestling on the map."
I mean, just
In WWE.
No. That was Sasha Banks. This is Mercedes Moné.
Very good point. That is true. That was Sasha.
No, we didn't.
No, sorry.
Juggalo did.
I think he did, yeah.
I'm nearly certain Juggalo did.
Okay, continuing on. So, to do that in Texas, well, I'm the Beyonce of wrestling. And I cannot wait to show everybody not only my gear, my outfit, the look, but just the match alone. So, you heard it here. Mercedes Moné comparing herself to Beyonce. Again, and Quirky Hawaiian saying, again, love Sasha. The Iron Woman match is still one of my favorite matches. Very true. Sasha, not Mercedes. I agree. Because Mercedes, I think, is like her true version of herself. Just me, center of attention. Nee.
Well, I don't know if this was off stream or on stream like last episode, but at some point we were talking about how the four horsewomen seem to just fall off, with Bailey being like out on injury or something right now.
No, Bailey's out. I think she could be injured. I don't know.
Injury, vacation,
Becky,
time off, whatever.
Becky and Charlotte and Mercedes Moné or Sasha both kind of have been not liked or well received and become irrelevant, it seems now. But there were other women in that revolution as well. You can't just, you have to include.
People seem to like specific numbers of things,
True, but I mean, it's just like Quirky Hawaiian says, he liked Sasha Banks, not Mercedes Moné. Now that this new era has come along in professional wrestling and women's wrestling for something that has happened over almost close to a decade or so, because that pivotal shift in women's wrestling where they got more time on their matches, they got more screen time on TV, they're not running around half naked doing bra and panty matches anymore or anything like that. They were taken seriously as serious competitors, and the ones that kind of helped bring in that new era are now just like, yeah, you did your part. Go enjoy yourself, do whatever, that kind of thing. I mean, that's pretty much what has been going on in the news. Nothing else new, I don't think. Try to see if there's anything else that has popped up since then. Da 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 da. Okay, Josh Alexander just won the MLP Canadian Championship title. Expect to see that title show up on AEW.
What does MLP mean?
Major, I don't know. It's something. It's a promotion that looks to be in Canada. I would think. I let me look it up. Well, always these ads every time I
He's
try
gonna
to
see what the article says it is.
Yeah, sorry about the silence and the dead air here. Sorry. Doesn't give anything as far as
It's weird.
yeah, don't know the abbreviation, but well, overall, I mean, great PLE. Overall, I mean, we do got a lot of stories to continue on. I mean,
You know something funny? If you were to look it up, you'd probably end up getting stuff like weird. What was that old show? It was like My Little Pony or something like that.
oh my God, you just really took that long to think of that.
No, that's what I first thought. It's like I'm not gonna say nothing.
Okay.
Never mind. You know what? I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean,
Because that's a really weird acronym
MLP. Yeah, because it's
for wrestling.
Major League Punishment.
Professional. No, not wrestling. We're just Major League Professional.
I don't know. I really
Unless
don't know.
they have a different word for wrestling over there.
In Canada, it's wrestling.
But it's Canada.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up now.
He's gonna try and
Because you're driving me nuts trying to come up with acronyms.
He's gonna try and produce a reasonable answer to this.
Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
Where's the W?
There is no W. It's just
Wrestling.
Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
World
And they're emphasizing on the Maple Leaf and Pro.
All Elite Wrestling, World Class Championship Wrestling. Forget what WCW was, but the W was wrestling.
ECW.
Wrestling.
But TNA, Total Nonstop Action.
It still makes sense,
But it doesn't have wrestling in it.
but it doesn't.
Ah.
But at the same time, there's no
No,
W.
I got you there.
Okay, the W in the acronym, if it had, if it was part of the name,
Come on.
TNA Impact.
Come on.
It doesn't have wrestling. At
Climb
the end.
out of that hole you dug yourself in. Come on.
I don't think I'm in a hole.
Okay, if you don't think so.
Because if it's TNA, that's Total Nonstop Action. All of the letters that it's trying to abbreviate are in the acronym.
Okay.
For, what was it? Major Maple Leaf Wrestling. That there should be a W at the end of that.
Okay.
Again, all these other wrestling promotions, they include the W for meaning wrestling. Even TNA, it's not Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. It's Total Nonstop Action. So, I mean, it's not.
Because you do realize they at one point back when they were known as TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, they changed it to Impact Wrestling, and then just a couple of years ago changed it back to TNA Wrestling, and named the show Impact again.
So, no weird missing letter for the acronym.
Okay.
Because even now, it's TNA, Total Nonstop Action, and then you have the little Impact slapped at the end. Or Impact Wrestling, not really abbreviated or shortened. There's nothing get weird about that, I don't think.
Okay. All right, then. I mean, I could probably find some other wrestling promotions out there that are not as big as WWE or AEW or what have you that have the W missing from from their name. So, hey. Oh,
what's the question?
Handsome Grim, off-topic wrestling question. Okay, fire away.
W.
You're making me tired, sir. You're making me tired. Will Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman join the Avengers Doomsday movie?
I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me if they did. And I would actually be looking forward to it even more. And again, to continue your off-topic thing there, with the MCU X-Men, some people are considering Arnold Schwarzenegger's son
Oh, I thought you were saying
to play Cyclops.
For a second, I thought you were going to suggest Arnold himself, and it's like, as long as we get him as one with freezing powers, that'll be cool.
I think having Indiana Jones be Red Hulk is enough for us. Snakes. You know.
I slipped that in there. It just...
I'm sorry.
The stupidest joke ever.
I know.
I said that it was...
That's why I tried to say that, because it was like, mm-mm.
Yeah. What I said was, if we could get Arnold to play an ice-related character, something with ice powers, I think that would be
I know.
cool.
I heard you. I wasn't deaf. I'm like, dear God, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Again, nothing to do with wrestling, though.
What killed the dinosaurs?
Oh, good Lord.
The Ice Age.
He's not going to stop. Anyway, thank you for the question.
Stupid ice powers. Best part of the movie.
It's time to freeze.
Chill.
I am chill. As long as I have my chopper.
You know,
that's a whole completely other different kind of podcast where we'd be talking about
really
comic books and stuff. We just might do that, but we got to get this podcast up off the ground first.
Yeah.
And then you have everybody.
Top
They
Gun
really
joke
are
here.
a bunch of nerds. They have a wrestling one and comic books. Next thing you know, there's going to be one about Star Wars. Don't tempt us.
Wouldn't that fall into the other thing, though?
Not really. All right.
No, I haven't.
We're getting
really
off
thought
subject
about it.
way too much. So we're probably going to go. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. Get some rest and everything. Get some rest up for next week, because next week's going to be pretty interesting. So yeah, because we still got some more pay-per-views heading our way. We got Double or Nothing that we have to watch for the sake of the show. And then I think TNA's got another pay-per-view coming at the end of the month. Not 100% sure on that one when. But then we've got WWE. I think towards the end of the month as well, we've got When Worlds Collide and Worlds Collide with AAA and NXT, and then, of course, Money in the Bank. Oh, actually, I think that comes in July. Never mind. It's been a long day for me, and I know I use that excuse a lot, but, you know, I do have a job I go to.
And here
Believe
I am
me,
making his day worse, making ice jokes.
And making me do Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. Bad ones at that. But yeah. If I can do this whole thing full time and get paid for it the same amount I get paid at my job, then, you know, you would definitely be pretty awesome for me, I think. But anyway, enough about that, me ranting and rambling. All right, guys. So, before we kick on out of here, let me quickly just throw up there our social media pages, our social media sites. You want to check us out? There they are. You do the Vanna White thing. Go for it. Never mind. Just check us out on any of these social media sites you see here. Just search Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast. Should be able to find us that way. Don't search Cross Promo Wrestling because it's going to come up with something else. Actually, put in Cross Promo Wrestling Podcast and you'll find us that way. Of course, you can email us.
crosspromopod@gmail.com.
And, of course, oh, wait, we got another.
Grim has something.
We got a late question.
We are streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, we're streaming on Twitch right now. Yeah, we're live on Twitch right now. That's where we're getting the Quirky Hawaiian and Aaron Black and the Divine Yinzer. That's where these guys are coming from. They're coming from Twitch. Surprisingly, we're not getting anybody from Kick except bots.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can join us on Twitch and also on YouTube.
Or Kick, or maybe at some point TikTok.
A Kick or some, yeah. If we can find a way to do it multiple ones. Do you have to kick the bots?
Hey.
I like what you did there. No, usually they come in every once in a while. They're like, "Hey, join the join this, join that, blah blah blah," and it's like
obviously a scam.
yeah, and it's like, no, we're not doing that crap. We just want to see.
We're gonna have to start kicking the bots. So
yes, knock a few screw loose. I can't even talk.
It's better than all of my weird pronunciations tonight.
Yeah, tell me about it. Anyway, all right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and head on out of here. We do hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please message us, email us, let us know how you feel about the show, what you enjoy about the show, what you didn't like about the show. We'd like to hear it too. Maybe that way we can make sure we get a show that's comfortable for everyone to enjoy. After all, we are just wrestling fans, just expressing an opinion about professional wrestling, much like you guys are with your friends. Or
then talking about other random, ridiculous things.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So, for the... I didn't even hit that. All right.
For the... whatever this podcast was. I forget what the name was.
For the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast, I'm Kevin.
I'm Chris.
And we gone. Ooh, yeah, brother. Snap into a Slim Jim.